I'm gonna make this real quick because I'm enjoying you playing too much. But I do want to get a couple of sound bites that we can edit into our final programs. Now you grew up, or you were born rather, in Louisiana.
Baton Rouge.
And then you moved here when you were about 5, is that right?
A little bit older, about 9, 10.
Okay, now do me a favor, answer the question.
I'm sorry, yeah, about
That's all right, I didn't tell you that to begin with. Well, tell me something. You know, Louisiana has a rich musical heritage, and so does Alabama. And so where do your songs come from?
I really wish I know. Sometimes I just, I'll wake up from a dream and just write, it'll just be right there in my head, I'll write it down. And then sometimes I can work on a song for years and just never get it right. It's either there or it's not. But growing up, I played in church a lot of African-American churches, which was the kind we went to, and heard some fantastic musicians and just absorbed all that. But my biggest influence actually came later in life when I was a teenager. I'd already begun writing songs and playing, but not too serious or anything. But so one night, I'll never forget it, my mom and I went over to visit one of her friends. And I was just sitting around bored, and her friend's daughter, Tara, just told me, said, "Hey, come with me." And so when you're a teenager and a girl tells you to do that, you don't ask questions, you just go. So she took me in this room and pulled out this album. It was Prince and the Revolution, Purple Rain. And we sat there in the dark, she put that thing on, and I'd never heard Prince before, but it started out, I just heard this church organ just holding this chord down, and then it goes to the suspended, and then it goes back, and then you hear this voice with all this echo come on and say, "Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to get through this thing called life." And when that side ended, we flipped it over and never said a word. And when that final cello ended at the end of Purple Rain, I knew that I was never going to be the same. I was worried, in fact, that when I went back into the living room, I was worried my mom wouldn't recognize me because that's how different I felt. And of course, later on, I got into Springsteen, who I consider the best American songwriter, just in my opinion. But it was really Springsteen and Prince, and it wasn't just his music. I mean, he influenced me a lot as a guitarist, and of course as a writer, but mainly because he was an outcast and sort of an oddball and didn't really fit in, and neither did I, and neither did most of my friends. And here was this guy at the top of the chart saying, you don't really have to conform. In fact, it's probably best if you don't conform. And I mean, that was rock and roll to me, and that was it.
Where do you think you want your music to take you now?
I'm just excited to be playing again, and I'm ready to go wherever it does.
That's good. That's a good attitude to have. Well, let's move on and let us hear some more of the music. And again, thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you.
And I think you've got a wonderful audience, and these people are going to support you. So give us what you got, what you want, and thank you for being here. Once again, folks, let's give him a big welcome, Stuart.